Yes, so this is what we covered last time. Yeah. So we were just going through the experiences of Ashwapati as and also relating them with our own life, because we all have tasted some or the other bits of these lines. So now, with this increasing experiences, at last, and in the beginning, as we reflected last time, we said that in the beginning, it's always like as if we are like a pendulum, right? Sometimes we are in the heights of our consciousness. It's full of illumination. Everything is very light and flowy. And then there are movements in our being owing to which we are again pulled down in the lower consciousness. So this pendulum like movement goes on. So in the beginning, a while, as we read earlier, let me just go there. Yeah, here. Only a while at first these heavenlier states. So the states or phases full of illumination and light and understanding, they were only very few in the beginning. But slowly with experiences, at last was one a firm spiritual poise. So as if there is an understanding in the being which is developing, that yes, I must be here, I must be poised here, this is my place, so more and more this poise is growing, this inner stability, if one can say, inner poise in this witnessing aspect of our nature is growing more and more, as we read, growing like a waxing moon, growing in its fullness, a constant lodging in the eternal's realm. So पहले क्या होता था, पहले it was just sometimes I am full of light and sometimes like really depths of darkness I find myself in. And again, this is a process of a lifetime, it does not happen in days. So even now at times we may find ourselves in darkness. Yet there was a growing poise and a constant lodging, as if I am lodging myself again and again in the timelessness present within me, in that light of understanding, the height of consciousness, that I know that yes, I must be here, I must be here. So this constant lodging is happening. Owing to this constant lodging, a firm spiritual poise is able to take place, a safety in the silence and the ray. Now, we all crave for this safety. We had covered this in the last session, just kind of, overlapping a bit, that we all crave for security and safety. That's why we have life insurances and, we open joint bank accounts ki banda saath mein rahe, chalo joint account khula lo. But even then, uh, life experiences are so fleeting and ever changing that there is never a surety found. When we have a loved one, there is never a surety that that loved one will stay with us. His priorities will not change. There is never a surety, but we are seeking that surety. And here, Ashwapati finds that safety, a safety in the silence and the ray. This is the ultimate immunity one can have. No need of vaccinations at all. This is the immunity that all of us must develop. Why? Because this is our birthright. We can all be there. And he found a settlement in the immutable. When I was reading these lines, it came to me that, how in life people keep on saying, settle ho ja, marriage kar le, settle ho ja, kids, have kids, get settled, have a good job, get settled. But we see that settlement never happens really through these experiences. So this is this inner settlement in the immutable, knowing oneself as the untouched aspect within us, the ever present witnessing aspect. So he was getting more and more poised, as if in that poise within himself. Yeah. And now, owing to this poise, the heights of his being lived in the still self. So, as if the focus of his consciousness, the anchoring of the consciousness is where that he is knowing himself as the still self. The base is getting prepared. Only then the once the foundation is there, then the building can be made, right? So this is the base that has been developed through the spiritual experiences. His mind could rest on a supernal ground, somewhere high, having a larger picture all the time, and look down on the magic and the play. Magic, it is said magic. Otherwise, in day to day life, rarely we find magical moments, usually when we are absorbed in the rut and the monotone of life. But here, in this having stabilized himself in the stillness, he sees that now the mind can look down upon the play and movement of life and look at it as magic. This is actually very, very magical that one divine uh, experiencing himself through billions of us, and each time he begins to experience himself, every time he experiences himself fresh, through the eyes of a child, as if I have never touched water before, as if I have never touched sand before. So this is the magic if one looks at little kids, or even animals, for example. How the divine is trying to, as if, newly afresh experiencing itself through each one of us, as if he has never touched water before. So that is the magic if one can be present to it, but we are hardly ever present to it. Where the God child lies on the lap of night and dawn. Our frequent rises of heights of consciousness, then frequent falls in the depths of consciousness we find. So, through this play of night and dawn, yeah, Navpreet, okay, I'll just mute you. Yeah. So, whenever you have something to share, please unmute. I'm just muting so that there is less background noise. Yeah. So this is how we are developed slowly through our falls and then the rises and then the rise, then the fall after the rise. Because each fall is different. We never step into the same water again. Right? So I cannot say that मैं वहीं पे हूँ जहाँ मैं 2 साल पहले थी. I may say that, but something must have changed. Something, some more light, some more illumination, understanding must have developed. So this is how the God child, each one of us is a God child, is nursed in the lap of night and dawn, fall and rise, illumination and darkness. Both have a purpose, ignorance and knowledge. And the everlasting puts on time's disguise. And the soul, it seems that it feels that it is limited by the body, it feels that it is limited by the mind. But is it really? Can anyone limit the space? Space is infinite, and if we look at our real true nature, true source that we are, that is also infinite. Who can limit the infinite? Nothing. But the appearance it gives, see, owing to the fact that we know ourselves as the body, and the body is limited, it has a limited lifespan. So I think that I must also be limited. But is that true? Is that true? Is that our experience, that I feel limited? Haven't we seen ourselves that whenever we have found a willingness in us, we can actually, turn big stones in our life which appeared obstacles in the beginning. So we feel that we are limited in time and space. Just like imagine that there is a vast space and there are houses in that space. So on the seeming appearance, it may appear that a house has a space, right? It may appear that a house के अंदर space है. But if we actually see the magnanimity, we will see that owing to the space, the house is present. So, owing to our real self, the body is present. Not because of the body, the real self is present. Right? So, if we can look through in bits and moments in our life through this illusion, which appears to be so real, the illusion of time. Even Albert Einstein, he says that time is an illusion. Why would he say that time is an illusion? हमारे लिए जो टाइम है इट्स अ कॉन्टिन्यूटी है ना, कि एज इफ वी आर कनेक्टिंग द 1,000 nows, and we are making past, present, and future how out of those 1,000 nows. But if we actually look at time, what we call as time, we see that all that we have is only the now. Where am I suffering? In the now. Where am I thinking of the past? In the now. Where am I thinking of the future? In the now. So, as if we are tied to this ever present now, and this is eternal. This now is eternal, it never ends. One can never say that there is an end and a beginning to a now. So I could just kind of, in a very surreal manner, I was trying to kind of relate this understanding of now and understanding of how it is said that it is that limitless or the timeless present in the so-called or seeming limited time, right? So we are so swayed by the hours of the day, we are so swayed by the day and night happening, that we feel that there is time. But it's actually a mystery. Time is a mystery, just like space is a mystery, just like we ourselves are mysteries. I feel time is also a mystery, and one can obviously delve deeper into this. Very, very interesting. Yeah. So feel free to share if you have any reflections in between. So this all we had covered. I will then take up the newer lines from today. We are on page 36 now. So any reflections so far? So let us go ahead then. The lines in pink. So Navpreet, you have joined us later. Would you like to read the lines in pink? हाँ नवप्रीत, आर यू देयर? आपको अनम्यूट करना पड़ेगा अगर आप शेयर करना चाहते हो। नवप्रीत।
Hi.
हाँ
Can
हाँ
you hear me?
आप या पढ़ना चाहोगे आप?
I can read the next one. I'm not carrying my specs. Can I
अच्छा
read
अच्छा
the next
ठीक है
paragraph?
ठीक है ठीक है या दैट्स ओके दैट्स ओके सो एनीवन एल्स हु वुड लाइक टू गो अहेड विद द लाइंस इन पिंक?
मैं पढ़ देती हूँ।
हाँ जी बिल्कुल।
To the still heights and to the troubled depths, his equal spirit gave its vast ascent, a poised serenity of tranquil strength, a wide, unshaken look on time's unrest, faced all experience with unaltered peace.
Yeah. Now he's as if mother talks about this development of a parallel consciousness. Mother says, a few sadhaks, when they asked mother, you tell us that remember me and offer all movements to me. But many a times I feel, the sadhak is saying, many a times I feel that I am so lost in the work that I don't remember to remember you, right? So I forget to remember you. So how to go about it? And mother would say that in the beginning, how you do is that you remember whenever you have that capacity. So for example, you have some time, you have pauses in between the intensity of your work, and that is how you remember me. Now slowly, as we increase this remembering, now this remembering also can be talked in several aspects. For those of us who have the connection with the mother, they can remember mother. But those of us who don't have the connection with the mother, what would they remember, right? And there also we can talk about it, because one can see that what all one remembers in the day, and one can just avoid remembering that. So what am I remembering in the day? My past, my future worries about my children, about my family worries, about my anxieties, about my all that can happen, all that is related to my material existence. So all that is what I am remembering in the day. can I just become conscious of this, what I remember throughout the day, and stop giving time to it? So that would be the remembrance for a person who is not connected to any form of the divine. Right? Can I just have pauses of silence in between? Complete silence, not that the mind is engaged somewhere. So when I get to know that, yes, oh my God, throughout the day, mind is always engaged somewhere. I'm always remembering something or the other or the other. And one thing which is common in that remembering is that all those remembrances are tied to me. Common element is मैं और मेरा परिवार, मैं और मेरे रिश्ते, मैं और मेरा मेरी कहानी, मैं और मेरी ट्रबल्स, मैं और मेरी सक्सेसेस, मैं कॉमन है उन सब में, right? So can I become aware of this, that all that I remember throughout the day is मैं? And can I then willfully stop remembering that? So that would be a remembrance for a person who is, say, no, not in really, touch with any divine form, not have a connection with that. So what happens is that now, Kabir also talks about this, that when a lady who dances is walking on a rope which is tied on two ends of of two poles, and niche uska husband, is making noises on the drums, and she is walking on the rope. Now, the very fact that she is able to dance so beautifully is reflected from the fact that she is immovably remembering that she is on a rope. So, this parallel awareness that yes, I am on a rope, and if I forget to remember the rope at any point of time, I will slip. I'll be maybe dead, right? So, this parallel remembrance of there is something more than what I am involved in is what is we, in again just touching upon different aspects of remembrance here. So his poise is now stabilized more and more in this stillness of the being, Ashupati's, to the still heights and to the troubled depths. His equal spirit gave its vast ascent. This is really very beautiful. Also, the lines that we will be reading today, again, all the lines of Savitri are so beautiful. But today, again, I found that they're so relevant. Now, with this growing inner poise, inner calm of the being, inner strength of the being, ho kya raha hai? It is as if it's giving an equanimous look either to the heights of consciousness or to the troubled depths of the being. क्योंकि अगर एक बार मुझे अगर अपने चैलेंज में या डार्कनेस में लाइट दिख गई, इवन वंस, it is not a possibility that next time I will be fearing that, oh my God, I don't want to go into this challenge. Why on earth God is so cruel to me? So that kind of thing will not happen again. Fear may be there, doubt may be there, confusion may be there, but there would be also a willingness to plunge into the darkness. So, here, owing to the fact that he is able to recognize the light of the divine even in the darkness of the being, to the still heights and to the troubled depths that we go through in our life, his equal spirit now, which is stabilized as a witnessing presence, it is saying, yes, you are allowed. It is giving its vast assent. It's saying, yes, you are allowed. Yes, you can be here. और होता क्या है that the universe is already allowing all the emotions and troubles to be there. That is why we have emotions and troubles and all the mental conflicts. But what happens with us is the ego rises from within, or one can say the resistance rises from within and says, how on earth are you there? मुझे 50 साल हो गए, मुझे 20 साल हो गए स्पिरिचुअल पाथ पे. How on earth this darkness is still there in my being? Now this is what we kind of fight with, struggle with, है ना? हमको लगता है ये मेरे में कैसे अभी तक बुराई? How on earth am I still troubled with my emotions? अभी तक तो सब क्लियर हो जाना चाहिए था, अभी तक तो सब क्लियर हो जाना चाहिए था. So हम क्या कर रहे हैं? The universe is allowing that emotion to be. The universe is presenting some darkness to me as a challenge. Okay, देखो इसका क्या कर सकते हो? And what am I saying? I am developing a resistance. I am creating a wall to that presence of whatever conflict that is there, and I am saying, how on earth are you there? So what we have to do then is not accept. We often talk about acceptance of our emotions. We don't really have to accept. We have to just stop resisting. है ना? मतलब एक्सेप्टेंस तो तब होती जब वो नहीं होता. अब वो चीज तो हो गई, इमोशन है, डार्क चैलेंज है. I see myself again and again falling a prey to my tendencies. That is there. So acceptance is not needed. What is needed is stopping of resistance. Can I stop resisting all the movements of my life? Can I stop having images about my spiritual self कि क्योंकि मुझे 20 साल हो गए स्पिरिचुअलिटी में, तो मेरे में ये होना चाहिए और वो नहीं होना चाहिए. पता नहीं भगवान जाने कहाँ से हम ये पिक करते हैं, these images, and then we trouble ourselves with these images कि फिर गिल्ट आती है. हाँ, गिल्ट ये कहती है कि देख ले ये तेरी हालत है, 10 साल हो गए स्पिरिचुअल पाथ पे और अभी भी वहीं की वहीं है. Guilt comes, shame comes, victimhood comes. So can we use this in daily life? The spirit is giving its vast ascent. Yes, you are allowed. Yes, darkness, you are allowed, because in darkness also is hiding the only one, that is the divine, the light of understanding. So this equanimity is developing in Ashwapati. And this equanimity is the cornerstone of any life path, any life journey. Being equanimous to the highs and lows of life. Not seeking anything in the highs and not running away from the lows. Samta. In Hindi we call it samta. In other words, we also call it udasin, right? As if I'm placed somewhere above all the lies and highs and lows of the life. Yeah. So this, I found this was really very, very beautiful. Again, the lines coming are also amazing. Yeah. And when we do this, when we stop resisting the movements of our being, मुझे लगता है एक तरह से हम खुलते भी हैं, as if I feel a widening in my being. Imagine कि एक कमरा है और वो कमरा कह रहा है नहीं ये चेयर नहीं आ सकती, वो चेयर नहीं आ सकती, वो बंदा नहीं आ सकता, उसकी वाइब्स मुझे पसंद नहीं है, वो बंदा नहीं आ सकता, उसकी वाइब्स मुझे पसंद नहीं है. And imagine that immediately the space recognizes that it has been resisting, and it says, okay, I welcome all that wants to come. So there is a widening that we feel in the being, that all is allowed because I'm not afraid of anything, because I'm seated somewhere else. I'm seated untouched, immovable by all the flux and movement of life. लेकिन हम डरते यूजुअली इससे इसलिए हैं क्योंकि हम जहां होते हैं, हम एज इफ हमने गलत जगह तंबू गाड़ दिया. हमने तंबू गाड़ दिया लाइफ की फ्लीटिंग सिचुएशंस में. अब वो तो हिलती रहती हैं हमेशा, है ना. हमने तंबू गाड़ दिया अपना कि ये बंदा मुझे अप्रूव करे और वो बंदा करे और वो अप्रिशिएट करे, और वो तो चेंज होते रहते हैं. सो वी कीप ऑन स्वेइंग अवर सेल्व्स, एंड फ्रॉम दैट पॉइंट वी कैन नॉट हैव दिस इक्वानिमस एटीट्यूड. I can have this equanimous attitude only when I have dived deeply into my challenges and seen for myself कि अच्छा वहां भी लाइट ही है, वो भी मुझे कुछ सिखा के ही जाता है, तो फिर डरना क्या है, घबराना क्या है, right? So a wider understanding comes of the being expands, and I'm ready to take more from life rather than resisting life. Yeah. A poised serenity of tranquil strength. This is also very beautiful, A poised serenity, serene, very calm and poised and peaceful and even smiling, serene, pleasant, huh? uh, of tranquil strength, a strength which is not agitated strength. More often than not, we have a very agitated strength. हमको दिखाना होता है कि यार मेरे में भी हिम्मत है, अरे क्या कर लेगा तू, जैसे एक विगर होता है उस स्ट्रेंथ में, एज इफ देयर इज अ वाइटल रश इन दैट स्ट्रेंथ। हाँ, हम किसी को दिखाना चाहते हैं हमेशा कि मेरे में कितनी स्ट्रेंथ है, तो वो एक शो ऑफ, एजिटेटेड, ट्रबल्ड स्ट्रेंथ होती सब में है, बट एजिटेटेड होती है वो, इमोशनली एजिटेटेड, मेंटली एजिटेटेड. Now this strength is something of a different quality, it seems. It is a very tranquil strength because it is rooted in its deep understanding. It is rooted in goodwill. It is not rooted in the ego, which where I'm always wanting to show off that I am something. हम हमेशा किसी ना किसी को कुछ दिखाना चाह रहे होते हैं, अगर हम अपने आप को ऑब्जर्व करें, या तो अपने आप को प्रूव करना चाह रहे होते हैं कि मैं कुछ हूं, या किसी के सामने हम कुछ ना कुछ बहुत ही सटल वेज में हम बताना चाह रहे होते हैं कि मैं भी कुछ हूं. एंड दैट इज द वेरी रीजन वाई वी डोंट लाइक टू बी नेग्लेक्टेड, है ना, क्योंकि हम बताना चाह रहे हैं, अरे आई एम ऑल्सो समबडी, हाउ कैन यू नेग्लेक्ट मी, right? So this wanting to be somebody is what drains our energy, and we then begin to lack in this tranquil strength. And once I realized that, wow, I don't have to be anybody because I am content being who I am. There is so much work to do within my own being. How on earth I have some time to show off to anyone? So tab slowly, gradually we get connected to this tranquil, calm strength, and which is also a strength. It's a very peaceful strength. This reminds me of that song Pal Pal Hai Bhari. There is this one line, beautiful line, where Sita is saying that जग में सबसे उत्तम है, मर्यादा पुरुषोत्तम है, सबसे शक्तिशाली है, फिर भी रखते संयम है. So he is full of strength, full of power, but he is not wanting to show off that strength to anyone. So that silent and tranquil strength, I think it is something which we all can partake of. It's nothing कि किसी का नेचर वैसा है और किसी का नहीं है, ऐसा कुछ भी नहीं है. This is available to us 24/7. Can we tap into that tranquil strength? कि जब जरूरत पड़े तो तलवार भी उठा लेंगे, लेकिन जब जरूरत नहीं है तो कोई जरूरत नहीं है बताने की कि हमें तलवार उठानी आती है. उसकी भी कोई जरूरत नहीं है. So that is really grace. I feel this is very graceful if one can develop such kind of a calm poise and also a strength. It's not a weakness or a passivity. Yeah. And then he gives a wide, unshaken look on time's unrest. Look at this quality of being a king. Kabir says that even king is a beggar because he always keeps on asking. But this is real kingdom. A wide, unshaken look on time's unrest. Now, the whole movement of life is unrest. Something or the other will keep on moving on in life. कुछ ना कुछ किसी की ना किसी जिंदगी में चलता ही रहेगा. कभी किसी की तबीयत खराब, कभी किसी के एग्जाम्स, कभी किसी की लाइफ में separation or marriage or whatever, anything happens, keeps on happening. But where now Ashwapati has lodged himself or found himself, if one can say, from there, those depths, he can give this wide, unshaken look on time's unrest, as if he is untouched by those movements of time, deeply rooted in its own being, faced all experience with unaltered peace. So beautiful, something we can aspire for. And we do aspire for, whenever हमारे जीवन में जब भी बहुत अशांति आ जाती है, we aspire for शांति. क्या ये मेरे साथ हो सकता है that I am untouched by all the movements of life. We all aspire for that, and it seems that yes, that can be a possibility, but some work is needed there. It would not happen by its own. It will happen by its own also, as mother also shares, but then it will be a very, very, very long and tedious and dim preparation, lifetime after lifetime, lifetime after lifetime. But once I am conscious of this fact that yes, this is my possibility, this is my birthright, and now I am willing to walk on this path, then it becomes a conscious collaboration. then I don't have to spend lifetimes after lifetimes of unconscious patterns in order to, straighten up my being. Yeah. Yeah. So no preference of any kind, not to sorrow, not to delight, just going to come in the next lines. I think let's go there and then we can say. होता क्या है यूजुअली ना, हमें लगता है कि इफ एनीथिंग हैपन्स इन माय एक्सटर्नल लाइफ, अगर कुछ अच्छा हो जाएगा, सो कॉल्ड अच्छा, जिसे मैं अच्छा समझती हूँ, जैसे मैं अवार्ड को समझूं अच्छा, है ना, तो मुझे अवार्ड मिल गया तो मेरे साथ कुछ अच्छा हो गया। और होता क्या है कि हमें लगता है कि अगर कुछ अच्छा हो गया, सो कॉल्ड मेरे दिमाग के हिसाब से अच्छा, तो मेरे में कुछ ऐड हो जाना है, आई विल बिकम समथिंग मोर देन हु आई ट्रूली एम। और अगर कुछ बुरा हो गया, बुरा किसको कहते हैं, एक्सीडेंट, डिजीजेस, ट्रेजेडीज, ट्रॉमाज, डिप्रेशन, दिस इज ऑल वी कॉल एज बुरा, सेपरेशंस, डिवोर्स, है ना। तो अगर बुरा हो गया तो मेरे में कुछ घट जाना है। Now, if I am seated in the depths of my being in this witnessing presence, knowing myself as the witness, then I will see that nothing can add me on, nothing can reduce anything from me. The witnessing forever goes on. So, what am I to be afraid of? क्या चीज है ऐसी जिससे मुझे डर के रहने की जरूरत है, जब मुझे पता है कि मेरा कुछ नहीं छिन सकता और कुछ मिल नहीं सकता। So this is where one can slowly, gradually, with our own capabilities and time, you know, get stabilized in that unaltered peace. और फायदा क्या है इस unaltered peace का, why to even talk of unaltered peace? Because then I can dance with more movement. Imagine that lady dancing on the rope. Huh? If she's firmly stabilized on the rope, she can do variations in the dance, more cleverly. She can entertain the audience, which is her job in that phase, with more delight, with more joy. This is the benefit, of rooting ourselves, knowing ourselves as who we truly are. This also reminds, imagine that there is an actor. अगर उस एक्टर को पता है कि I am an actor and I can hence go very far being a villain, then he will be able to give himself totally to the role. This we have seen even in Bollywood or Hollywood, those people who we call at good as good actors, owing to the fact that they know themselves, they are very intimate with their own being and know themselves as, yes, I am the actor, and hence I can go deeply in playing the role of even a murderer or a, or a criminal. So I can play that role very intensely without losing myself in that role. I will always be rooted that, yes, I am the actor, so I can take it as far as I like. So this is the beauty, that we can do it even with much intensity. We can live a life with much, much, much intensity if I know where my roots are. So it's like sansar bhi, then it can become more of a enjoyment, not like a dullness or a monotone. Yeah, if you have anything, please keep sharing. Yeah. Yes, yes.
What
आपकी
you
आवाज नहीं आ रही है तरु।
You can't hear me?
हाँ, अब आ रही है, हाँ।
Okay. When you were, a little while back when you were talking about strength, I think again based on just how our image of certain things are, we just stick to it. Jesse, say for say my mom's generation or above, if you are just suppressing, that is your strength. Like, that was what a person would be taught. Or like you were saying about, like taking out a sword, but not taking out a sword when it's not needed. Like somehow we get caught on to the images ki, because now I believe in myself, somehow the answer is always taking out a sword, but then you come to a place that, like you were very beautifully saying, ke हर जगह ही there's this fighting, like say a Rani of Jhansi, she was strong because she could fight. A Buddha was strong because he did not need to fight. A Kabir was strong because he fought with his words. He didn't need to take out his sword. And yet when we think about say strength or fighting, we all have our individual images. तो उस हिसाब से just always reminding ourselves कि sticking is not needed, right? Or just catching ourselves when we stick is quite beautiful, because इतने unlimited options और potential और possibilities हैं. और अगर एक ही चीज में if we just stay सीमित, sticking and सीमित, it's just we don't live the others. So it was really beautiful the way you
Yeah,
said.
very beautiful. Yeah, yeah, very true. This is the power of understanding, Taru, that you shared, the light of consciousness that mother shares. That when I am rooted in understanding, or the light of awareness, the light of witnessing presence, go it, give it any name, तब मुझे दिखता है कि आई एक्चुअली डोंट नीड टू स्टिक टू एनी इमेज, है ना. मतलब जो सिचुएशन आएगी उस तरीके से काम किया जाएगा. वॉट एवर फील्स राइट इन एनी मोमेंट I will be, as you said, that we don't have to stick to any image of me being the Jhansi Rani. कि अगर झांसी की रानी है तो तलवार उठानी ही उठानी है, right? But that is only an image. We hardly know the details of what Jhansi ki Rani was in her private life. Yeah.
Yeah, and that journey, say from suppression
Yeah.
to fighting, and then it
Yeah.
feels this is it, right? You have reached, and then
Yeah.
you realize that no, you just can't keep fighting. What's next?
Exactly. Yeah.
Kind of that realization. And another thing, you said that you are ready does not mean that the fear is not there. Those
Yeah.
things still crop up.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's also again I think a very big thing to remember, because somehow it feels कि ओ अच्छा मुझे तो हल्का सा डर लग रहा है, इसका मतलब आई एम नॉट रेडी है ना, इसका मतलब
बिल्कुल.
अभी भी कुछ lacking है, because like you said there's so much in me.
Hmm.
There's someone in me who wants to keep pointing fingers or tell me that I'm not there, or I'm
Hmm.
weak, or I don't deserve, or देख अभी तक यही है. So
Hmm.
kind of a thing. So that thing has to be looked into the eye and just said, just looked. No,
बिल्कुल.
don't need to say
बिल्कुल.
anything. But
Very
yeah,
true.
okay, everything remains, and yet you are not a, you are willing to walk ahead or give allowance, like you said, say
Yeah.
yes or be open. I don't know,
Yeah.
even if you don't say yes, just be
Yeah.
open to whatever is deemed fit to come your way.
Yeah. 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 कबीर जो आपने बात बताई ना, उसी पे मेरे को याद आया कबीर का एक कपलेट है, वेर ही सेज, मन को मृतक जान के मत कीजिए विश्वास, साधु तब तक भय करे जब तक पिंजर में सांस. So fear arises only out of mind, that I begin to think about something, I remember about the past or the future worry, or maybe there is something unknown, I want to chart a territory which I have not any idea of. So fear crops up in the being. And fear is a doing of the mind. Fear arises of the mind, and then it goes also in the body and lodges itself in the body. सो कबीर सेज कि मन को अगर तुमने मृतक जान लिया कि वाह मेरा तो काम हो गया, मेरे को 20 साल हो गए इस जर्नी में, और 30 साल हो गए, और 60 साल हो गए, आई एम डन, एंड देर इज नो ईगो लेफ्ट इन मी. एंड सो कबीर वॉन्स द साधक, कबीर सेज, मन को मृतक जान के, डोंट थिंक द माइंड इज डेड, एवर एवर मत कीजिए विश्वास, साधु तब तक भय करे जब तक पिंजर में सांस. And this is also a reference to Maya, the way Maya can crop up, show itself, another new image that I begin to stick to my being, that yes, this is now me, the new me, the spiritual me. So there is never, as you were also sharing, there is never an end to doubts, confusions, and my inflictions, my miseries. But there is also never an end to my growing understanding. There is never an end to my willingness to walk on the path. So just let us keep all the fears and doubts in the pocket and keep on walking this path. Taru, you will also sharing, just moving on and on and on, because we know that there is no worthwhile path to be taken. This is the very worthwhile path. And that keeps us moving, on and on and on and on. क्योंकि हमें पता है कि और कहीं जाने की possibility ही नहीं है. It's almost like a choiceless surrender. That I know that there is no else where I want to be, nowhere else where I want to be. And hence, let the fear come, let the doubt come, let the suspicion come. All of that is allowed, and it is allowed by the universe. Can I just, go through them, find my own light in those darknesses? And as we were sharing that there is no end to it, abhi aage aayega what Ashupati goes through. And again, even now when he has so much of luminosity in him, even now there is a part of him which is very dim. This is rhyming, a part of him which is very dim. So let's go there also. But I think yeah, first go through these lines first.
There's one thing which I have noticed in all of
Yeah,
us,
yeah,
at least in myself,
yeah,
that whenever there is something which is challenging you, challenging a person, for instance, though it is like in Taru's words कि तलवार उठाओ और झगड़ो और वो ये तलवार चलाओ और कुछ करो, but even at that time, even at the peak of when that emotion is there to fight back or to do back or go by your habit, there is always a very teeny weeny voice which from inside tells us, yeah, but this is not how you're supposed to do it, but we choose not to listen to it. We very often don't listen to the other second small voice which pops its head out and tells us, you can do it this way, provided you listen, provided you try it. This is my experience. I don't
yeah,
know if anybody else has felt it, but this, in every instance, when there is a challenge thrown at you of any kind, even subject to habit, a little voice is always there telling you, but we choose to, "Arey, you go, yeah, you're just teaching me to be like this, to be weak, not to be strong," or something like that. We interpret it and throw it out. But perhaps if we listen to it, maybe it would work.
yeah.
Yeah, I personally feel that at times it is needed to pick up that sword or to stand up and shout back. It's like depending on where you are and what is needed, sometimes things are needed to be shaken up. Like we're talking about say Jhansi Ki Rani only, she had reached that situation that either she could just kind of, give away her kingdom to the British or fight for what she believed in. So, and fighting meant fighting, sometimes verbal discussions just don't do it. So, I don't know, I feel really good about that then when I'm fighting rather than, when I'm kind of just silent. And yet, at times when you have fought, you don't have to continue fighting, is I think what I understood from Monica, because sometimes, everything has a time and a place, and nothing as per I would say is bad. Yeah, but
Yeah, yeah. I think Taru and Jyotsna ji, you are all you. I think both of you are just same at the same ground. It seems like it's kind of a little opposing, but as Sri Aurobindo shares in Synthesis of Yoga, that it feels it is separate, but I see there is a lot of similarity in what you are sharing. So Jyotsna ji is sharing that I feel that whenever I am ready to pick up a sword, and if I am pulled by a tendency of, I have a tendency of picking up a sword, right? But at many moments, it is possible not to really pick up, even have the need to pick up the sword, right? That is what Jyotsna ji was sharing, that there is an inner voice which is saying that you can do without it also. There is also another possibility. Is that right, Jyotsna ji?
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah, yeah. And Taru exactly was sharing the same thing, that at times when you need to take a stand, like for example, how India got its freedom. Now, we only know of bits and pieces. We don't know what is the work done by Mother and Sri Aurobindo in the, behind the scenes in the India freedom struggle. But on the appearance, it seems that when it was needed that, yes, I need to take a stand for my right, one needs to then get up from the bed, and pick up the sword and give away the life for the truth. But at times it is not necessary. At times you can do with something else. Yes, Taru, please share.
Yeah, I wasn't saying what Jyotsna ji said, I don't agree to it. I just, she used, basically, I just wanted to say that when you are picking up the sword, it doesn't have to be judged bad or violence, like
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
yeah.
exactly. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, bilkul.
I agree, Taru.
Hmm.
Yeah, me too.
Even if we don't, that doesn't matter. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So let's read these lines in yellow. Indifferent to the
Yeah,
sorrow. Yes, Navpreet. Yeah,
yeah, can I read?
please do.
Indifferent to the sorrow and delight, untempted by the marvel and the call. Immobile, it beheld the flux of things, calm and apart, supported all that is. His spirit's stillness helped the tolling world.
Yes. So now, being placed in this inner poise where he can see himself untouched with the flux of life, indifferent to the sorrow and delight. अब किस situation में I can be indifferent to the sorrow and delight? Because I see that I am not indifferent to sorrow and delight. I want to run after delight and I want to run away from sorrow. Why would I want to run away from sorrow? Because I have never tried to be intimate with sorrow. As if sorrow is a friend which comes to meet me. He wants to sit with me, wants to maybe befriend me, wants to make me understand me. But I always look at the face value of the sorrow, which is so hideous, and I run away from sorrow. Always. And that has been a perpetual running since eons of being a human being. Running away from sorrow, running away from the sadness, and running after delight. दौड़त दौड़त भागया महा जहां लगी मन की दौड़. So Kabir says कि जहां जाना था दौड़. अब देखो ना, जैसे ही हम spiritual, when we enter into spirituality, many a times we are often stuck in meditative experiences. So we don't even realize that the quality of my mind has not really changed. क्वालिटी रिमेन्स द सेम. इट इज स्टिल अ सीकिंग माइंड. अभी भी वो कुछ इनकम्प्लीशन को पूरा करने की सोच रहा है कि कुछ मिल जाए जिससे मैं भर लूं. Right? So we feel that now I have a different path and we feel very superior from other people who are not meditating actually. But the quality of the mind is still the same. It's the same beggar mind, incomplete mind, wanting to fulfill itself through spiritual experiences. Run towards delight. But now, when I know myself as the witnessing awareness, which is forever going on, I don't have to do it. Witnessing does not have to be done. It is going on. Because how would I then realize that I am suffering? I see myself suffering. I see myself diseased. I see that I did that and went into this depression. So that seeing is going on and on and on. I don't have to do it. Right? Now, when I become available also to the sorrow, wanting to understand sorrow as a movement of life, and if I actually am able to touch the depths of sorrow, it is not a possibility that the next time sorrow comes, I run away from it. So, the very fact that I run away from the friend called sorrow is that I have not really deeply understood behind the face value. Huh? And now, this witnessing, this understanding is indifferent to the sorrow and delight. It does not hanker after delight and it does not run away from sorrow. Delight उसको कुछ दे नहीं सकता, sorrow उससे कुछ छीन नहीं सकता. right? Untempted by the marvel and the call. Now, it is not tempting me, the marvels of all these spiritual experiences. It's not tempting me anymore. Kabir, I think we discussed in the last session, Kabir says, भैया होगा कहीं heaven है तो है, मेरे लिए तो यही ठीक है. I just want to be here in good company. That is what Kabir says. That path itself is the goal for me, because I know that there is no heaven. So there is no place to be reached. Right now, everything is there, whatever is needed. Can I make the best use of it? Untempted by the marvel and the call, immobile, it beheld the flux of things. How can I behold the flux of things when I myself am not moving? An earthquake, a seismometer which measures the earthquake. How can it measure the earthquake? Because it itself is not shaken by the earthquake. That is the beauty of immobile, able to support the flux of things, the going in and out, and all the oscillations that we have in life. Immobile, it beheld, as if, imagine that as beautiful vast space, and that space nurtures all the movements in the being. It nurtures the tsunami. It sees the tsunamis coming and throwing away things here and there. The space is there, immovable, untouched by all that, and it is supporting the flux of things, the movement of life. Calm and apart. The space की क्या खूबी है? Space की ये खूबी है that it is never touched by the tsunami. Space cannot be touched by the houses that were built there or were broken there. Space is not touched by all the movements that happened there. It is ingraspable. I cannot grasp it. I cannot stain it. That is the calm and apartness. Calm and apart, supported all that is. हमें लगता है कि जो लाइफ में मूवमेंट्स हो रहे हैं, पता नहीं वो होने चाहिए कि नहीं होने चाहिए. मैं तो इतना पढ़ चुकी हूँ, इतना समझ चुकी हूँ, ये मेरे सामने नहीं आने चाहिए. बट वो हमारी सिर्फ दिमाग की उपज है. The very fact that they are there, they are showing up in my being, is a very fact that yes, I need to put the light of consciousness on them. They want to be attended. They want to be held. Can I give them that space that yes, you can be there? Yes, fear, you can stay there as long as you like. But I have things which I will do, which I feel is right. I have doubts, I have confusion on this path, but I also know what is right. So let me go on. Calm and apart, supported all that is, his spirit's stillness helped the toiling world. It seems that the world is forever in labor, in labor, as if even our being, as if a new birth is about to happen, about to happen, about to happen. We are forever in labor. We are giving birth to our own selves. But owing to the fact that now the spirit is more and more stabilized in the inner poise, it is now able to help the toiling world. When it itself was toiling, when I was myself lost in the movements, I was not really able to help. I was so busy with myself. इतना चल रहा था मेरे जीवन में कि मेरे पास समय ही नहीं था. भैया टॉयलिंग वर्ड होगा तो होगा, मैं कहाँ से हेल्प करूं? But now, owing to the fact that I am knowing myself more and more as that immutable, untouchable aspect, I see that I can also support my own inner movements, help my own inner toiling, and along with that, it's like a spilling that happens. One is also able to connect to the toiling of the world because it is one and the same. We may look apart, we may have different racial colors, a foreigner may look very different, but the confusions and challenges are the same. They're not really different. Same 5 negative, 5 positive emotions, same issues with relationships, with children, with job, with money, confusion. Where am I on this spiritual path? Have I proceeded? Have I not proceeded? Wanting to reach somewhere, but not reaching that somewhere. So, all these are collective toilings of the human world. Hmm? There we are one. We are not separated there. We are not separated by racism there. So his spirit was now, owing to the fact that it was lodging itself in its source, becoming more and more still and poised, full of divine strength to help the toiling world. And the world begins with me. Not that I'm stretching my hand to somebody else, not that kind of a help. First, it begins with me. Only then the stretching happens to the other. Hmm? Yeah. Anything here? Okay. So, in absence of anything, I'll go ahead. If you have anything, please share at any point of time. Yeah. Yes, who would like to read the lines in green?
Inspired by silence and the closed eye's sight, his force could work with a new luminous art on the crude material from which all is made, and the refusal of inertia's mass, and the grey front of the world's ignorance and nescient matter, and the huge error of life.
Yes. Now, this is what I think we have also touched upon this in previous sessions, that when the mind, so see, our minds, we all know about our minds. Our minds mostly are extremely restless. They are very restless in nature. They are wanting to be somewhere else. कुछ मिल जाए, कुछ मिल जाए, कुछ पकड़ लूं, कोई image, कोई identity, कुछ. So as if there is this everlasting toiling going on in the mind. Now we know that just like a restless child seeks rest, whether he is able to communicate it or not, a restless mind also seeks rest. Now, the way we try to help bringing it to rest is by consumption. हाँ? We give it something कि चल ये खिलौना पकड़ थोड़ी देर तक रेस्ट में रहेगा. But we see that it is very temporary rest. वो खिलौना पकड़ तो लेता है mind, but then it becomes restless again. So as if its second nature is restlessness. And I see, owing to the understanding that I develop slowly, I see that my mind is craving for rest, but it does not know where to get it. Hmm? And owing to the fact that all of my day to day activities are coming out of this restlessness of the mind, they are also very distorted in nature. My relationships are distorted, my speech is distorted, my uh, job, workplace, family, relations, relation with myself. This is all then have a taste of that distortion of restlessness. अब अगर मुझे ये दिख जाए, हाँ पहले बात तो दिखना बहुत जरूरी है. अगर मुझे ये दिख जाए और मुझे ये पता लग जाए कि इसको तो सिर्फ शांति चाहिए, अशांत मन को क्या चाहिए? शांति. Can I now bring it to rest directly without using any medium? Is that a possibility? Hmm? Is that a possibility that I समझाओ my mind with this light of understanding that बेटे तुझे चाहिए तो रेस्ट लेकिन कहीं मिल नहीं रहा है. अब सीधा रेस्ट पे जाना क्या उचित नहीं है? Now I can dip the mind back to its source, which is stillness, the silence of the being. We all have that taste at one point or the other in our life. We all have tasted that deep, deep silence of the being. Hmm? We are all blessed to have tasted that. Can we go there in that space of stillness of the being and dip the mind there? Dip the mind there. Now, this mind, Ashwapati's mind, what is happening? Inspired by silence and closed eyes sight, the sight of a closed eyes, which is not available to much sense perceptions of the world, which is absorbed in the stillness of the being and then coming out again from the stillness of the being. The quality of the mind is a changed quality. It is not the same quality that I had one moment ago. Hmm? This dipped mind, his force could work in a new luminous art. When I rise from this stillness, in whatever moments possible, if I am able to do that, this dipping of the mind in stillness, when the mind rises out of this stillness, now it is able to channel and direct its force in a light of a newer luminosity, newer understanding. Hmm? His force could work with a new luminosity, luminous art. Life is an art. At each level, there is an art. Music is an art. Walking is an art. Cooking is an art. What on earth is not an art? So now the mind, which is not hankering after sorrow or delight, it is rested peacefully because it has been given rest directly without the use of any medium, without the use of any consumption. This mind, when rises up again into the world, it now can direct and channelize. It can work with a bit of self mastery. His force could work with a new luminous art on the crude material from which all is made. This crude material of our mind, our emotions, our matter, physical matter, inertia, that mechanical routine of tendencies. Now, with this light of understanding, when I rise up and look at my tendencies, I look at them in love. I'm not looking at them in regret, saying that why on earth are you still there when I've been on this path for so many years. वो regret नहीं है, वो guilt नहीं है, shame नहीं है. Why? Because it has been touched by the love, the source, the stillness. It is full of that transformative power of love. Now it can direct the force on the crude material from which all is made, and the refusal of inertia's mass and the grey front of world's ignorance. So all in me that refuses to change towards good, all in me that refuses, बहुत हम अपने अंदर बहुत feel करते हैं, we know that a part of me wants to do right and good, but a part of me is very stubborn and baby like, childlike stubbornness it has. It says नहीं, मैं तो ऐसी हूँ, मैं तो ऐसी ही रहना चाहती हूँ, क्यों मुझे तड़पा रहे हो, change करवा रहे हो. I have been like that since childhood. I don't want to change. So a part of it is full of this inertia, the refusal to change. And it actually feels like as if I am giving off my skin, I am peeling off my skin when I see myself transforming. इतना हमने उसको अपने आप से जोड़ लिया है, all those tendencies and images about ourselves. The refusal of inertia's mass and grey front of world's ignorance. Grey front, a front which is not very clear. It's very hazy. कि मामला क्या है? The disguise of grayness, the disguise of maya, the illusion that it seems कि कभी clarity मिलती है, कभी एकदम से अंधेरा हो जाता है. क्या चक्कर क्या है? And the grey front of world's ignorance and nascent matter and the huge error of life. So on all these, he was able to shed his light of knowing, light of seeing, owing to the fact that he's dipping himself in the source. He's getting inspired by that silence, by the witnessing. Now, nascent matter, a matter which has no knowledge, it is ignorant. It is ignorant of its own divine origin. तभी इतना मुश्किल है पुश करना. 10 बार बताऊं कि भैया तुम वर्दी हो, वर्दी हो, तब भी जो सेंस ऑफ अनवर्थ है वो इतनी अच्छे से अंदर घुसी हुई है हमारे एक एक सेल में कि मानोगे नहीं कि वर्दी हो. बार बार यही प्रोक्लेम करोगे कि नहीं, अभी मैं वर्दी नहीं हूं. आई एम नॉट वर्दी, आई विल नेवर बी वर्दी. So this sense of unworth, this blinding ignorance that we have, as if it is injected in our cells, on this he was able to shed light. Maybe do something about it. Maybe transform it with love. And the huge error of life. Now, why would, and I would ask reflections here if you have any, also on these lines and also on this beautiful phrase that Sri Aurobindo uses here. Huge error of life. Kya ho gaya? Why is he calling this a error here? And it will be also revealed later in few lines. But I want to discuss, also get a few reflections if you have, on this huge error of life. Anyone?
The first thing that's striking me is, when you had told the story of evolution, how you had mentioned that the first time when they tried to, how do you say it, like send consciousness on Earth, how there was this mistake, and then the Earth had to be, the consciousness had to be sent second time, in which they had, I don't know, they did it more stepwise. So
Step by,
probably,
yeah.
so that's what it was. Error of life.
Yeah.
And otherwise, if I, reflect on it in general, somehow a lot of things seem wrong, in life. Like a lot of times, including myself, and I see a lot of people, they question, right? कि अगर यही करना था तो आए क्यों? If we were one with we were one with God, and then we had to separate, and then we have to find a way back to Him. It's like somehow something doesn't feel kind of right. कि why so
So
much
nice.
effort and stuff. So थोड़ा वो भी मेरे को आया when
Yeah,
I was
yeah. Anyone
trying.
else? Yeah. I think that is why they say divine comedy, कि ये क्या चल क्या रहा है मामला, हाँ. Yeah. Okay. So, okay, in absence of comments, then let us go further because it's very interesting how it gets revealed here. Yeah. Okay. So, let us take these lines in yellow. Anyone who feels ready to uh, read?
As a sculptor chisels a deity out of stone, he slowly chipped off the dark envelope, line of defense of nature's ignorance, the illusion and mystery of the inconscient, in whose black pall the eternal wraps his head, that he may act unknown in cosmic time.
Yeah. So here Sri Aurobindo reveals something. First, he says the huge error of life, and this has baffled, many spiritual seekers through centuries. That what on earth is going on? Why is, on one hand there is this spiritual ideals that we have, yet what all is possible for us as human beings, and then we see the atrocity that is there in the world at the moment, right? So it feels like something is wrong. Why is this going on and on and on and on? But now Sri Aurobindo reveals, as if the aim of spiritual development is to be able to work on the huge error of life. as if for this only the creation happened. That first losing myself in the unconsciousness and having this leela, hide and seek, that देखते हैं कि अपने आप को मैं क्या खोज पाता हूँ या नहीं खोज पाता. So अगर हम उस sense में देखें, again not saying that it will get revealed fully, but it will give us some, these lines will give us some hints and clues there. And beautiful thing also I find is that it's good that it is not revealed fully. आप सोचो ना कि imagine that Brahm would not be infinite, the divine would not be infinite, it would be finite. The moment I reach the finite, that मिल गया, divine मिल गया, what is the fun? What would I do? So it seems that there is a there is this purpose somewhere it feels in bits and pieces that अच्छा ही है that the divine, the road to divine is infinite, that the road to surrender is forever on and on and on, and one can never reach there. Why? Because there is a certain joy and delight apart from moments of suffering also, on this path. The play of dualities, knowing myself as what I was 10 years ago and knowing myself as what I am right now, and all this is happening in the party of divine only. So there is no me and you. There is only the divine, looking at itself through various, as if prisms or various goggles. हाँ? तो कभी कभी ऐसा लगता है बेगानी शादी में अब्दुल्ला दीवाना की, जब डिवाइन की पार्टी चल रही है और डिवाइन अपने आप को ही टॉर्चर करके अपने आप तक ले जा रहा है, तो मैं कहाँ से आ गई बीच में. कभी कभी ऐसा भी फील होता है कि what is actually going on, why am I getting so bugged up with all the travel. So let's see what Sri Aurobindo says in these coming few lines. As a sculptor chisels a deity out of stone, this image I'm sure most of us would have seen, that a sculptor is as if he is himself, carving himself out of the stone. So एक बड़ा सा piece of rock or piece of stone है जिसमें से हैमर लेके वो अपने आप को ही चिजल कर रहा है, as if he's chipping off bits here and there, refining himself more and more and more and more. So, and that is what we all are doing in this life. The divine is doing, in this life. He is as if it feels that he wants to know how many can I become? How many turmoils can I go through? Thousands of stories, thousands of diseases, thousands of tragedies in human life, and it feels that the divine is exploring himself out of all these stories. As a sculptor chisels a deity out of stone. अब क्या कर रहा है अशुपति? What is he doing? He slowly chipped off the dark envelope. So Ashupati himself is the sculptor who is chiseling himself off this stone. The possibility, the potential that is there in the stone, he is chipping the bits off here and there, refining himself so that a beautiful image emerges out of that stone, of the dark envelope. What is the dark envelope? Shedding the layers of ignorance, the layers of Maya, the layers of illusion, that which appears to be but is not. And it appears so real that we live a whole lifetime in that illusion, many a times. He slowly chipped off the dark envelope, line of defense of nature's ignorance. At one point of time, I heard a talk where Alokda was sharing that, ignorance is like a curtain, which is a protective curtain. It is all the layers of ignorance are needed because I'm not capable so far to have the direct sunlight. Imagine that you are sleeping on your bed and you have not even woken up, and I open the curtains, right away. You will be just, your eyes will not be able to take it. You will say, thoda aur kar do, halka parda kar do. So it's almost like that in moments in phases that I become capable of receiving the divine light, the light of, knowing myself truly who I am, which is a never ending process. What happens is that ignorance helps me to protect, as if that I may not shatter, I may not damage myself. So, in bits and pieces through our life experiences, these layers of ignorance are slowly chipped off, shed off. So, I'm getting to know myself better and better and better and better, and there will always be a better and better because there is no end to myself. There is no end to knowing myself. I can never say that I have known myself today fully, because that would mean that I am finite. But we are not finite. We look finite. So this can be only a journey embarked upon. Hmm? The line of defense of nature's ignorance, the illusion and mystery of the inconscient. जो भरम लगता है ना, माया को भरम कहते हैं. माया को भरम कहते हैं. It's like an illusion. And that is why one can never be sure that it is gone. है ना? Because when it is an illusion, one can be in illusion at any moment of time. आ सकती है, जा सकती है, आ सकती है, जा सकती है, आ सकती है, जा सकती है. It depends on where I am right now. कितना मैंने उसको रियल बनाया हुआ है अपने जीवन में, और कितना वो ठगती है और कितना मैं ठगने देता हूँ. And this has baffled, Maya has baffled mystics and masters, and they have said so much. Kabir has said so much on Maya. He says Maya tirgun roop. Tirgun, सत्य, तमस and रज. ये भी माया का रूप है. ये मत समझ लेना कि तुम सात्विक हो गए तो बहुत महान हो गए. Because that is binding in nature, that is limiting in nature. Any gun is limiting in nature. And that is why Kabir was more nirguni. Kabir was more like, कि वो वाले राम की को याद रखो जिसका कोई गुण नहीं है. एक राम दशरथ का बेटा, दूजा घट घट में बैठा, तीजे राम का सकल पसारा, चौथा सभी से न्यारा ही सेज. जिसकी बात भी नहीं की जा सकती, क्योंकि बात करोगे तो तुम उसको डेफिनेशन में ट्रैप कर दोगे. So this is now what Sri Aurobindo reveals here, that in the beginning it appears it's a huge error of life, but then he says the illusion and mystery of the inconscient, in whose black pall the eternal wraps his head, as if he is covering the timeless, the eternal, the divine. He is covering, shrouding himself in this trap of Maya, in the veil of Maya, and he wants to play, this game, so that he may act unknown in cosmic time. कि हमको पता भी नहीं चल रहा कि किन किन तरीकों से वो अपना काम करके चला जाता है. That is the play, that is the Leela of Sri Krishna. The playing hide and seek with gopis, and all the naughtiness that we hear about Krishna, that he's, more often than not we see, Maryada Purushottam Ram ko to hum kehte hain ki unka pata hai, is predictable, but Sri Krishna is not predictable. He's very naughty. He would do whatever he feels like. He has no ethics. He can be cruel at times, right? So this was so enchanting, when these lines came up. The illusion of separation, as Taru was sharing, that it feels that we are separate, and we so strongly have bought into separation, that yes, I am separate, I am unworthy, and now hence the journey has to be embarked upon from unworthiness to being worthy. And if somebody tells me on the first hand, you are actually not worthy, I will not be able to believe that fellow, because my life does not tell me the same. My people approvals and rejections, they don't tell me the same. The thoughts I have about myself, they don't tell me the same, and they appear so real. People's approval, rejections, my thoughts about myself, they appear so real that I ignore the very obvious. But again, this is not very, it's not like black and white. It's like appears very surreal. Sometimes we have a clarity, sometimes we are in the trap, and that is the game, that it is never fathomable. Because just like the roop of the divine, which is infinite, Maya is also infinite. because Maya is coming from the divine. So how can it be finite? How on earth can I say that now I have known what Maya is? फिर कैसे हम माया को महाठगनी कह पाएंगे कि अब मुझे पता ही चल गया कि इसका ठग क्या है, right? So this is, the beauty, the naughtiness, and again, the beauty is not only always beautiful. We have our own phases of suffering also, but when we look back at them, there's always some place here or there when we can call it a divine comedy, or not. Nobody is asking us to do that. So I would like to stop here. I think these lines were very rich, and that's why I spent so much of time, just taking one line by line. Any comments? Okay, so let's call it a day then, in absence of comments. And thank you so much for joining. Yeah, and listening and
Thank you.
reflecting. Yeah,
Monica.
thank you.